Today's rundown enters the mystery thriller world of the movie Level 16 2018, a story of an eerie boarding school where innocence masks sinister truths and survival demands sacrifices against a backdrop of deceit and danger. The show begins in an isolated, windowless boarding school where numerous young girls live on numbered levels. The boarding school runs with military precision, and the girls are given very rigid rules that must be obeyed at all costs. Breaking the rules results in being taken downstairs for punishment, which the girls universally fear. They are taught to follow the feminine virtues of obedience and cleanliness and avoid vices like anger and curiosity. All the girls have been brainwashed and told that the school protects them from the toxic outside air and that their lessons prepare them for adoption by members of high society, who will only want the girls if they are clean. All these girls have been kept in this boarding school for years and have never ever seen a sunlight from their eyes. On one random day, we meet two best friends, Sophia and Vivian. They discuss about their future plans and hope to get adopted by a good family one day. All the girls line up on level 10 to wash their faces in front of a camera in an allotted, regimented time. Sophia drops her jar of face cream while in line and is unable to find it due to her very low eyesight. Vivian steps out of line to help Sophia and in doing so, exceeds her time limit. This activates the security alarm and the guards arrive to drag Vivian away for punishment. She begs Sophia to tell them the truth, but she turns her back on her due to fear. Regardless, Vivian is dragged away, but we never see what happens to her. Some years later, the girls are now grown up to teenagers and move to level 15, which is the second last level. They are now given video lectures to teach them those same virtues of obedience and cleanliness. The girls are kept awake for 7 hours a day and are drugged to sleep for the remaining 17. Vivian keeps account of number of days passing by using her hairpin and putting a line for every day on the headboard behind her bed. The grown-up girls are also taken to an assembly randomly where the facility manager, Miss Brixel, shows up in style and guides them through necessary rules. She congratulates them on completing level 15 and sends 3 of them to level 16, which is the final level. The selected girls include Vivian and 2 other girls. They are greeted by the other girls on level 16 and Vivian is surprised to reunite with Sophia, her best friend who turned her back on her when they were young. They are meeting for the first time since level 10, but Vivian simply ignores her because she is still angry with her for that day. Each evening, the girls are given some pills as healthy vitamins, but these pills are actually powerful sedatives that keeps them unconscious for 17 hours. One of the girls is Ava, who is a rule follower and always wants to be ahead from everyone even if it requires her to cause trouble for others. Vivian comes across Sophia in the corridor and sees that Sophia is still facing difficulties with her low eyesight. Sophia confronts her outside a bathroom and Vivian drags her inside because they're lesbians. The alarm suddenly rings and all the girls are ordered to report for assembly. Miss Brixel joins them and once more presents a good news that they will soon be adopted by new families. She then gifts them a pretty fancy white dress which they will be allowed to wear in the coming days as training. Each dress has a name of a specific girl, and it is revealed that the girls are unable to read English because they don't know what's written on the dress. Sophia seems unhappy with all of this and has something suspicious in her mind. The lights go dark and everyone is put to sleep. However, we see that only Sophia is awake for some reason and sits like a ghost. The next day, all the girls are allowed to wear that white dress, which makes them happy. Sophia goes to meet Vivian and tries to talk to her about something important, but she is still angry with her. Sophia warns her not to take the daily vitamins, but before she could give more details, they are interrupted by Ava, who always acts like a stalker. She forcibly takes Vivian away for another task and pretends that she is a helper, but Vivian knows that Ava isn't as good as she seems to be. The girls line up to take the vitamins that evening, but Vivian recalls Sophia's warning and decides not to take the vitamins. She pretends to take the medication in front of the camera, but goes to a toilet and spits out the pill. That night, the girls go to sleep, but Vivian is awake and is confused to see other girls completely unconscious even if she tries to talk to them. After a while, Sophia walks out of her bed and reveals that the vitamins are powerful sedatives that keeps everyone unconscious for hours. They suddenly hear a sound of the guards entering the level and Sophia runs back to her bed. Vivian also pretends to be asleep as we see Miss Brixel ordering the guards to take Vivian and another girl away. The 2 girls are carried to a lounge, but they are unaware that Vivian is awake and seeing everything. When the guards walk away, Vivian wakes up and is confused about the whole situation. Miss Brixel suddenly returns with an aging couple and presents the sleeping girls to them as a product. She explains their beauty features to the couple while Vivian is listening to everything. The older couple eventually choose the other girl as their preferred option and make plans to purchase her. Vivian is returned to the hall by the guard while the other girl is given to the older couple. Once Miss Brixel and the guards leave, Vivian wakes up and now she finally knows that the families are not intending to adopt them but to buy them. Sophia urges her to escape right now, but she is not in her complete senses to do so. The guards return in the interim and take 2 more girls away, including Sophia. While this is happening, Vivian leaves the hall and tries to escape, but Miss Brixel walks into the corridor. She talks to an unseen person on the phone and expresses concern about someone named Alex, but the movie makers simply ignored to reveal who is the person on the phone and who Alex is. Vivian is listening to her weird conversation, which further grows concern. Vivian tries to escape once they leave, but finds that the outer door requires keycard access. She is completely visible through the cameras, but nothing happens surprisingly because the security is useless. She runs back to the hall and goes to her bed. Sophia is brought back to her bed, and the inspection finally finishes. The next morning, Vivian and Sophia meet inside the bathroom because they don't have any other place to talk. Sophia once more urges her to escape, but Vivian is still hesitant to do so. The girls meet the facility doctor, Miro, who is doing some routine checks. He informs them that a fever has been going around some of the other halls and gives them a vaccine. The girls also have a movie night once in a week where they watch the same film over and over again. Vivian once more talks to Sophia at night, and she is also determined to escape this prison-like orphanage. Sophia explains that she has been avoiding those drug pills since level 13, but she couldn't find a way to escape. They devise a strategy to escape during the darkest hour, but they need an access card to open the door. Meanwhile, the vaccine injections appears to have some side effects in their bodies and causes one girl to have a seizure during lunch. Ava decides to call the guards and get rid of the sick girl, but the other girls stand against her and ask her to shut her mouth. The injection also gives them painful rashes, which clearly emphasizes the unhealthy nature of the medications. Sophia and Vivian once more meet in the bathroom, and Sophia urges her to reveal the truth about medication to all the other girls. However, Vivian denies to do so because no one is going to believe them. Sophia further adds that one of the guards enters the hall at night and physically assaults the girls while they are completely unconscious. She has been noticing everything since she just pretends to be asleep. Vivian decides to ask Dr. Miro for help and expresses her concerns. Miro initially acts kind towards Vivian, but when she attempts to share the side effects of medications, he realizes she has been skipping her vitamins and injects her with a concentrated dose. This causes Vivian to feel uneasy throughout the day. Sophia consoles her and discusses her plan to escape. However, Vivian begins to talk in a loudly manner due to her medical condition, giving Ava a chance to report a complaint against her. Ava's friend disagrees to do so, but all Ava wants is to get rid of her competition, so she calls the authority and reports Vivian's unclean behavior. Miss Brixel immediately responds to the call and summons everyone to the assembly. Vivian is dragged away for punishment, and Ava creepily smiles for being the culprit. Miss Brixel locks her in a box for the night and threatens her to show obedience. She then goes to her office and prepares 2 glasses of champagne, giving the impression that someone else is going to join her. It's the stupid Dr. Miro, and they both are having an affair for quite some time. They once more talk about the hidden character Alex, who is playing as their boss but is never revealed in the film. They discuss the school's dwindling funds and the pressure being put on them, ostensibly by powerful criminals, to produce results. Their powerful and dangerous benefactors want them to reinitiate their experiments with new set of girls, but Miss Brixel disagrees, saying that the facility is falling apart and is running out of funds. However, the stupid doctor is too afraid to go against their bosses and suggests to start over with 12-year-old girls instead of children using the advancements he has made. In the meantime, Vivian spends the night in the dark box while Sophia is preparing to attack the guard who secretly comes at night and assaults the girls. Sophia pretends to be asleep when the guard arrives, and as he touches a girl, she attacks him from behind but doesn't knock him out completely. He captures her before she could escape and strikes her in the face. However, she grabs a nearby iron and knocks him out this time. She steals his keycard and runs to save Vivian using that card. The alarm suddenly goes off, and Sophia once more turns her back on Vivian despite her tearful begging and requests to set her free. Miss Brixel later sets her free and calls for the assembly to deal with the situation. She and Dr. Miro inform the girls that they were unable to find the keycard Sophia stole and ask where she hid it. When they cannot produce it, one of the girls is taken downstairs for punishment with a warning to the group that another girl will be punished each day until the card is found. Dr. Miro then gives the drug pills to Miss Brixel and asks her to forcibly give them to the girls. During the night, Vivian feels uneasy due to her medical condition and wakes up. She believes that Sophia might have kept the keycard hidden in her bed and eventually finds it behind her headboard. She tries to use the card to open the door, but it appears that the authority has reset the card and is not working. She then uses the keycard to unscrew the door hinges because it's that easy, right? Every professional robber in this world should be ashamed because this innocent girl just introduced a whole new technique to break doors. Anyway, she finds someone sitting inside Dr. Miro's office and comes across Miss Brixel, who secretly prepares a sedative injection as a weapon. Vivian asks about Sophia in anger, and Miss Brixel threatens her with the injection, but Vivian knocks her out with the table lamp. She then injects her with the same sedative and also pulls out a rope from nowhere to restrain her. After that, she heads upstairs towards the exit door and sees Moon for the first time in her life. However, she remembers her friend Sophia and heads downstairs to rescue her instead of escaping on her own. She arrives at a small prison in the basement where she comes across a guard, but he is so kind-hearted that he simply ignores her even when she was right in front of him. Anyway, she finds Sophia in a prison cell and rescues her. Now, instead of escaping, they are highly motivated to enter a crude operating room full of corpses because that's a sensible thing to do right now. They find the girl's name on a corpse who was taken for punishment earlier, but they don't know how to read. However, they still magically figure out that it's Rita and find her dead with her skin removed. Sophia screams in terror and immediately returns to her emotionless acting. Vivian insists they leave immediately, but Sophia refuses to go without the other girls. They go to the exit door and Vivian gives the keycard to Sophia just in case she needs it. She goes back to level 16 where the girls are watching video lecture. She turns the television off and pretends that Miss Brixel sent her to get the girls. While this is happening, Vivian sees a guard entering a lower level and follows him instead of escaping. She finds a video in the lounge, revealing that the facility is actually a rejuvenation clinic run by Miro. The girls are raised in a sterile environment so that their skin can eventually be transplanted onto rich buyers. They facilitate the buyers in selecting and then harvesting the girls' faces for implantation on older women. Vivian finally learns that they are nothing but lab specimens grown for rich older people. In the meantime, Sophia tries to warn the other girls about their situation, but they are initially suspicious of her. Suddenly, Vivian brings Miss Brixel to the rest of the group and shocks everyone. She reveals that Sophia is telling the truth, but Ava once more acts like a bitch. However, they are convinced when they reveal that Rita has also been killed and skinned. Vivian then forces Miss Brixel to admit, and everyone suddenly notices that something is wrong with her face. It is revealed that she was also a sponsor or a client and is wearing one of the girls' face. Miss Brixel finally faces her fate and is locked inside that box where she used to keep every other girl. After locking her, they lead the girls out of the facility, but the alarm goes off as soon as they open the exit door. One of the guards shows up from nowhere and fights the girls, but Vivian retaliates and pushes him off the building. Sophia gets injured in the fight, but manages to walk away. More guards pursue them through the streets, causing all the girls to split up in separate directions. Sophia and Vivian narrowly escape by hiding in a shed behind a security door. When the guards are unable to open the door, Moreau arrives and attempts to manipulate Vivian into coming outside and helping him round up the other girls. He also reveals that their birth parents sold them to the facility as babies and tries to convince her to open the door. Vivian, aware that Moreau only cares about her appearance, cuts her face with the scalpel to ensure that she is no longer valuable to him while Moreau watches and is distraught. Soon afterwards, henchmen lead Moreau away to see their boss, the mastermind of the operation. A gunshot is heard, giving the impression that Moreau has presumably been killed for losing control of the clinic. An exhausted Sophia and Vivian fall asleep inside the shed. They are awakened the next morning to the door being broken down by Belarusian police and emergency service workers who have already found the other girls. Sophia and Vivian are led to safety and hold hands while they experience rain and sunlight for the first time in their lives. However, the main boss of the operation is never revealed in the film, and the story closes out without even telling us what happened to the stylish Miss Brixel who was locked in that box.